Hey everyone, I'm Uncle Reddit. Welcome to another episode of Entitled Parents, where we get an up-close look at the darker side of parenthood. Please remember to subscribe and hit that like button. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. Our first story comes to us from you, Nithis124. How my brother-in-law's mom was thrown out of his wedding. So this was actually just a few days ago and it was very entertaining. My sister just got married to the man she had been with since, I believe, her freshman year of high school, and they were both very happy and just the other day had their wedding. Now, brother-in-law has a mom who thought the wedding was going to be made the way she wanted, invite the people she wanted, and work the way she wanted. However, my sister and brother-in-law were very stern with her that none of it was going to work out like that. Many months go by of this constant bickering between them to the point where they both decide that she wasn't going to be allowed at the wedding. My sister tells me the day of the wedding to stand out front and greet people in the foyer with the bouncer. They hired one who would have a list just in case. I was there to make the process go faster because I knew most of the people by face. I was told not to let an entitled mother in no matter what, and I had every intention to do just that. And in true entitled mother fashion, she shows up thinking that she's allowed to be there. I stood there arguing with her that she wasn't allowed in. After a couple of minutes she left and apparently had walked around and found an open door to get in unnoticed. I walked inside because everyone had shown up. And as soon as they started saying their vows, entitled mother decided to make a big scene by laughing hysterically and saying out loud that their marriage wouldn't last. I was furious. I told my sister and brother-in-law that I would handle it, because the bouncer had said that he wouldn't put his hands on anyone or force anyone to leave because he didn't know anyone. I, on the other hand, knew the woman, and would happily force her out. I grabbed her by the arm and started dragging her towards the exit with her screeching like a banshee on the floor behind me. Some not so nice things were uttered from my mouth because I was very peeved that she deliberately went out of her way to do that. I was yelled at and hit numerous times, but she was a small woman so it didn't hurt all that bad. Now they are happily married, and to my knowledge, entitled mother has tried to contact them as well as coincidentally meet them in person after stalking them to apologize for her actions. They told me that they have repeatedly told her to F off, excuse my language, and to leave them alone / not contact them if she were to ever need anything. This woman has also told me, not asked me, to get them to change their minds, and I told her I wouldn't listen because she tried to ruin such a big day for them. Thanks for reading, and yes, I got my sister's okay to post this. Sorry if it's a little long. Our next story comes to us from Rye the Red Zombie. Woman thinks I infected her son with the coronavirus and demands my medicine. This was very recent. Toronto just got a presumptive case of the coronavirus. At that time, I had got an allergic reaction from my class party at school. I'm allergic to dairy. I was outside walking home. I stayed back at school for some time to study for an upcoming history test about the 7 Years' War. This may be too much information, but whatever, when I felt sick. I had just remembered that chocolate chip I ate as a dare back at the party. I had forgotten to take my Benadryl, and I was just taking it when a middle-aged woman, insane mommy or IM, with a young boy, smaller kid or SK, probably around 7 or 8, they see me putting away my meds. Small kid, pointing at me. Mommy, why is he drinking that? Entitled mom. I don't know. Small kid, to me. Why are you... Entitled mom. SK's name, I'm just gonna use SK instead. Don't talk to strangers, especially those kinds. I don't know what she meant by those kinds, but I couldn't care less. But before I could even stand up, entitled mom. Come! I went to her, not wanting to be rude, I wish I hadn't. Entitled mom. I don't want you doing drugs in front of my son, do you understand? Me. That was my medication. Entitled mom. So you're sick! Me. I'm having an allergic reaction. Entitled mom. Well, go to a hospital, or you may contaminate the rest of us. Me. Allergies aren't contagious. An allergy is a hypersensitivity to the immune system and cannot be... Entitled mother. Don't you try to be smart with me. Just because you have smaller eyes than us normal people doesn't mean you're better than us. I was getting anxious. I was weak and sleepy from the effects of the Benadryl. And there was this woman with a midlife crisis and a young, curious boy bellowing at me because I take drugs. Belong in a hospital because I have an allergic reaction, which isn't even contagious. And that I think I'm superior over normal people because I'm East Asian? Me. I know, and I don't care. Entitled mother. You will not talk to your elders like that. Great, now she's being like a baby boomer. I was thirsty and my throat was dry, so I coughed. Mistake. Entitled mother. You have the coronavirus! Me. Of course I don't. I bit back the retort, you idiot. I turned to walk away, but entitled mother grabbed my hood. Entitled mother. Don't talk to me like that, you careless rice eater. Go back to that wasteland where you belong so you don't infect your superiors. Digression. A few days ago, the day when the news came out about the possible coronavirus in Toronto, I was sitting under a tree at my schoolyard finishing my science homework. I preferred to sit in the cold. When this 10th grader, not from my school, went up to me and said, "It's all your fault." I thought it was amusing, so I actually laughed, which wiped the smirk off his face. I later told it to all my friends, and we all had a laugh together. One of my friends had his soda coming out his nose. Okay, back to the story. I thought, not only is she being a jackass, she's assuming that I'm Chinese, which I am, but that's beside the point. Me, finally having enough. I'm tired and sick, so if you would finish this plainly useless argument. Then, my luck must have been awful. SK sneezed. It was pretty cold outside. This is Canada after all. But then, entitled mother. You infected my son! Me, very coldly. No, I didn't. Now let go of me. I actually need to go. Entitled mother. I demand you give my son your medication. Me, quite beside myself. You have no right to make me do anything. Now let go of me. Entitled mother was going red with fury. Or maybe she peed herself and was blushing. Entitled mother. Give my son your medication. You don't deserve it. My son needs it more than you do. Me, close to crying and starting to feel sick again. Your child is fine. Entitled mother. No, he's not. I close my eyes, calm myself, and say, prove it. Bad move. Entitled mother. I don't need to. I know he's sick. SK, timidly. Mom, it's okay. I'm fine. Can we go? Then entitled mother did something I would never forget. She kicked him. Like, very hard. SK went flying, landed in the snow, and started crying. If entitled mother wasn't holding on to me, I would have gone straight to SK to calm him down after coming out of a state of shock. Entitled mother. You give me your medication or I'll call the police. You have no right to ignore your superiors. Me. I hope you don't mean yourself. Entitled mother. How dare you! I'm smarter, richer, older, cleaner, and better than you. I suddenly realized that I knew this woman. I had a run-in with her many days ago. This made my anger rise like heck. I smacked away her hand. So? I had enough. She grabbed her still crying son and stormed away, muttering things about how unlogical juvenile Asians close to the edge of poverty were. I only wish that the little kid is fine. And as for that other encounter with her, I'm not sure whether to post it or not, but if you people want me to post it, then I'll be glad to. Too long, didn't read. Entitled lady tells me not to take drugs, accuses me of infecting her son with a disease, calls me poor, juvenile, rice eater, and ends up getting so enraged that she kicks her own son. Wow, that's a bipolar entitled mother if I've ever seen one. Oof. Our next story comes to us from you, Grey Red Wolf. Stop being better than my kid at basketball. Hey guys, I've recently found this sub and I've been having a blast reading everyone's stories. I've had my fair share of experiences with entitled parents, but there's one that takes the cherry by a long mile. So much so that my friends still joke about it, over 10 years after the incident. I'm from the south of Spain, and I attend a semi-private high school in the capital of my province. With good weather all year round, sports are a big thing in Spain, and kids usually enroll in some extracurricular sports team with their school, often attending inter-school tournaments which were, in my opinion, really enjoyable. Me, being a nearly hyperactive kid, tried multiple sports, but my biggest passion was basketball. Now, I'm not your ideal basketball player. I'm rather on the average to short standard of height, barely reaching 174 centimeters nowadays, and obviously even less at my 16 to 17 age, which is when this story took place. I was, however, extremely energetic. I ran a lot and I could definitely jump, which covered for my lack of height. I used to play point guard for my school's team, and we did fairly good in our city's school's basketball tournaments. These tournaments took place over months, the schools agreeing matches between the teams regularly, once or twice a week or so. Here's where things start becoming interesting. These matches took place in either of the school's courts/gyms and/or course, since they were school events ultimately. The kids' parents were most welcome to them, and often encouraged to attend and cheer for the kids. Usually this made for a nice environment, and the kids, even though competitive and sometimes rough, would generally enjoy and play fairly. But not this time. My school's team had a match with a nearby school, a completely private one. as opposed to the semi-private I attended, with which we had a sort of rivalry. In this match, I ended up covering a kid I had never seen before, and who was quite taller than me, standing a bit more than a full head above me. I did not let this scare me. I always loved a challenge, and a bit to my surprise, covering him proved to be much easier than I expected. The kid, despite his tall frame, was not athletic at all, and had probably started playing basketball not long ago. He couldn't dribble, he could barely jump at all, and his shooting was just under mediocre. This led to me blocking his shots or stealing the ball from him repeatedly. About the 5th time I do this, I start hearing screams from the spectator stands. Enter the entitled mother. Keep in mind, all this story happened in Spanish, so this is the closest translation I can give. Entitled mother. Foul! That kid did a foul to mine! Referee! I briefly look around confused because I simply had jumped to block a shot from the kid, but the game was on, so I ignored it and carried on. Some moments later, after an unsuccessful attack from my team, I ran back the whole court to defend a pass to the tall kid, and stole the ball from him. Once again I hear screams. Entitled mother. He is cheating! Referee! I ignore it again and dribble past the kid, to which yet another scream ensues. Entitled mother. That's not fair! Boo! Stop cheating! Mind you, this was on a gym with all the noises of kids running around and people chattering and talking. I swear, everyone could hear her screaming her lungs off. This continues for the rest of the first quarter of the game, and the kid actually started getting red and nervous every time he heard his mother scream, which of course made him play even worse. When the referee whistled the end of the quarter, I quickly went to drink some water to the gym's fountains. Like many other kids, and believe it or not, entitled mother approached me and started talking. I should point out, my parents were not present in this game, as they could not attend all of them, and I was perfectly fine with that. Entitled mother. Hi sweetie, I'm the mother of X. I don't actually remember her name. And you have to stop cheating now. Me, sweaty and red by the effort, quite confused about the situation. I'm not cheating. Entitled mother. You obviously are. Just because the referee doesn't see it doesn't mean it's okay. He is taller than you, so you shouldn't be taking the ball from him like that. So you are obviously cheating, she reprimands me. At this point, I'm actually thinking this must be some sort of joke, and I'm not understanding. Maybe she knows my parents somehow and is trying to be funny. I look at one of my teammates confused, and he gives me a shrug. Entitled mother. We have enrolled X in basketball because he is naturally gifted for it. I imagine she was referring to the kid's height. So please stop with your cheating to make him look bad. We want him to join the city's team. Behave yourself. She leaves. I literally laugh with the teammate, and we run back to the court for the second quarter. Things didn't get better. Every time I blocked the tall kid, I could hear EM throwing a screaming fit. Entitled mother. Stop! You can't block him when he shoots! He's taller! He was, but he could barely jump 10 centimeters, and I would actually reach a bit higher than him. Entitled mother. How can he run more? His legs are shorter! That kid is obviously doping! This woman indeed accused me of using performance-enhancing drugs as a 16-year-old to win a school's basketball match. Entitled mother. Stop! Stop, stop, stop doing that! X, don't let him take the ball! He's cheating! Stop that! At this point, this had stopped being funny for me, and I was feeling harassed. Other parents were also peeved with EM, and my coach was fuming, but not wanting to get in trouble with the school, he hadn't said anything yet. When the second quarter was over, we went to the changing room with our coach to rest a bit and go over the strategy for the second half. The game was actually quite tight as their team was generally good, and it's not like we were the dream team either. To my surprise and shock, Entitled Mother actually enters the changing rooms nearly spitting fire and points at me. Entitled Mother. You are going to come with me! I told you to stop cheating, and I will not stand for this! I say nothing. I do nothing, actually scared of this woman, who invaded our space when we were refreshing and having a break. Entitled Mother. Come now! You're going to tell the referee you were cheating, and you're going to stop playing! She actually reaches and grabs me by the arm with an iron grip and tries to pull me out of the changing room when my coach explodes. Coach. What the cojones think you're doing? Let the kid go now! Entitled Mother. You should be ashamed. Give your kids drugs to play better, and that's cheating. Coach, completely baffled and furious. Lady, you have to let go of the kid. Write the F now and stop with your stupid stories. At this point, the situation is escalating quickly. My teammates are either screaming at her, laughing their A's off, or just watching the whole thing speechless. Some other parents from both teams enter the changing room and force EM to get away from me. All this time, she never stops accusing me of cheating, of using drugs and other deluded fantasies. EM, as she is dragged out of the room. You are going to regret this. I'll have you banned from playing in this city. You're a cheater, all of you. She ended up getting expelled from the game as the referee announced she was disrupting the game and affecting all players negatively. We actually won that game, but the second half felt somewhat not enjoyable after that experience. Tall Kid came to me at the end of the game and apologized profusely, and explained that his mother had decided to put him to play basketball in hopes to get some kind of scholarship benefit, even though he didn't particularly like the sport. He was really ashamed, and I held no hard feelings toward him. We ended up talking about the game a bit, and I tried to give him some advice to improve. I heard later, Tall Kid's school had banned his mother from attending any games, as apparently my case was not an isolated incident, and she had pulled similar stuff in other occasions. To this date, whenever we play some game, be it physical, board, or video game, if I start winning, my friends will start yelling at me, "Stop cheating! And stop using drugs to win!" So at least I got a funny memory out of all that. Our last story comes to us from You Saber-Toothed Dude. Entitled Mother Tries to Get a Discount for Her Little Angel. I don't think so. This is a story from a few weeks ago, so dialogue might not be 100% accurate, and I'm sorry if it doesn't belong. In my city, we have a Lego store that I frequently go to, say about twice a week, and I'm well known by the employees. Every now and then, I go to the store and bump into entitled parents, and they usually are triggered by the high prices Legos go for. For anyone who doesn't know, prices for Legos, well, they can sometimes, depending on the product, go for hundreds of dollars. And sometimes the parents beg for a discount saying that they're just Legos. Now one day I go to the store and get some Star Wars sets, and while I'm browsing around, I hear a woman start screaming and cursing out the employees saying, "Give me a discount! These are just toys for effing kids!" Now most of these people I consider friends, so I was not going to let them be talked to like that. I signal to the employee saying to come here. I then tell him to pretend I am his boss. He complies, and this is what happens. Me: "Miss, what's wrong?" Lady: "These people are overcharging me on these pieces of crap." Me: "Miss, this is the right price. This set, Lego Ninjago, the Ultra Dragon set, which I have 2 of, is worth $84. Lady: "That is ridiculous." Me: "Well, I'm sorry, miss, but that is the price, and unless you have a family member or you're in the military, you cannot get a discount." Lady: "I just want to buy this for my kid. Please give me a discount." Me: "Sorry, miss, I can't do that." Lady: "Give me a discount or I'll have your job." And a few curse words thrown in. Me: "Miss, stop, or I will kick you out." Lady: "Listen, you POS, you're gonna give me a discount so my kid can have a great day." Me: "No." I then tell her to leave, and she keeps shouting until I threaten to call the cops, and that if she tries to lie, I have footage. I guess the switch in her mind finally flipped, and she left, and I'm glad I didn't have to call because I wasn't really the boss and that would look bad on my part. I understand if adults think Legos are overpriced, and I feel for them, but just don't shout at people who sell them. Please leave a "I hear you" down below if you want to get rid of entitled people. Alright everyone, I hope you're having a great day and that you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and keep a lookout for more of these little gems from Reddit. So long!